Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy, growth-minded, sparkly corner of the world. Join me, Shaina Wexler, as we revel in and rediscover the abundant magic that fills our daily lives. So brew up some tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and breathe deep as we create Daily Magic. Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to this bonus episode of Daily Magic during our holiday break. As a reminder, Season 2 of Daily Magic will officially begin on Tuesday, February 11th, just in time for Valentine's Day, and I am already feeling so excited to jump into that new season together. I am so happy that you are here today with me for this bonus episode, my friend. I've missed you. I've missed you. How are you doing? How have the holidays been feeling for you? The holidays can certainly be a magical and joyous time, but we know that they can also hold a lot of weight and bring emotions and memories right up there to the surface as well. So whatever your experience has been so far with your holiday season this year, I want you to know that you are not alone, and it is okay to feel whatever you are feeling. I hope you have been allowing yourself some time to just be and afford your emotional world the time that it needs to experience and process the mix of emotions that comprise the holiday season. I wanted to check in with you today because I realize that for many of you, the holidays are actually the time of year when you have the most open and available time to dedicate to listening to podcasts. So yes, Daily Magic Season 1 has wrapped, but that doesn't mean that I am just going to leave you in an audio lurch for the next couple of months. A dear, darling friend of mine is the creator, host, and producer of a very artistic, compelling, entirely unique podcast of sonic adventures called Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, and it is actually just about to launch into its third season. If you listened to my episode number 5, The Magic of Rain, you may remember that I was talking about my friend, my extremely talented, multidisciplinary artist friend, Blake File. And in that episode, I referenced his podcast and how listening to it had inspired me to try my hand at some sound design elements in that particular episode. And if you have listened through to the end of Season 1 of Daily Magic, you know that The Magic of Rain was only the first of many sound stories that I created. And in large part, I have Blake's podcast, Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, to thank for that. Listening to Blake's sonic theater creations has influenced me on my podcast journey so much. When I first began creating Daily Magic, I knew I wanted it to be really cozy, a really comfy space where people could come to exhale and feel supported and be reacquainted with the magical moments that were filling their lives. So in the first many episodes, you may remember that I encouraged you listeners to get cozy in your home and in your space. I encourage you to grab a cozy blanket and some fuzzy socks and a cup of tea. In my original concept, it was primarily up to you, the listener, to create a space that was conducive to coziness while you were listening to the episode. But the more that I listened to Abandoned and the immersive audio fantasies that Blake creates in his episodes, the more really intrigued I became about discovering and exploring and inventing ways that sound could be used to create a cozy environment for the listener to reside in on an auditory level. Things started really percolating, and I started asking myself questions about, like, how can I create the feelings that I want to share, that I want to elicit? How can I create those feelings and share them with the listener through the medium of sound? How can I extend the sensations of this experience to my listener through audio? As you are probably very able to tell, I really, really had a wonderful time making some inviting sonic experiences for you all in season 1. And yes, you can certainly expect more of that in season 2 of Daily Magic. So while Daily Magic and Abandoned are not similar podcasts in content themselves, I do just know that if you follow our Daily Magic guidelines and you brew up a cup of tea and you grab a pair of your best headphones and you settle in, you will appreciate and value the incredible soundscape adventures that Blake will take you on in his podcast. Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, follows this format of exploring abandoned spaces across the United States. But the aspect that I really love most about this show is the way that Blake is able to take his personal experiences and really inner emotional states and lay those so beautifully up against the landscape of these particular abandoned places. Each episode is intriguing and heartfelt and will invite you to inquire about the world, the community, the culture around you. And best of all, Blake encourages us listeners to activate our imaginations as a tool for our own healing. I know that you are interested in checking this out. So as a gift to you during this holiday break, I am going to share the Abandoned Season 3 trailer with you. Okay? Here we go.
Where do they come from? And where do they go? From New York to California. From Maine to Florida. From Hawaii, Alaska. From everywhere to everywhere.
As a kid, I spent hours playing inside an abandoned dairy farm down the hill from my house. The raptured-like space, filled with objects from bygone times, boasted a peculiar sense of wonder and adventure. Inside my private sanctuary, I discovered an alternate reality where I invented entire worlds alongside ghostly friends who taught me the importance of using my imagination for mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. Decades later, these childhood experiences laid the foundation for my practice as an audio storyteller through my work with All-American Ruins, a multimedia travelogue in which I recount my experiences exploring abandoned spaces and reimagine them through multimodal storytelling. Oh, and hey, I'm Blake, the creator of the project, and host of its Ambie-nominated audio series Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, which guides listeners through immersive audio fantasies using the unmitigated power of sound, where I sonically recreate my expeditions to abandoned spaces across the United States and around the world. Take my hand as I guide you through the physical spaces themselves and what they represent culturally, politically, and environmentally, and allow me to lead you into the depths of my imagination, blurring the lines between fantasy and reality, where I will introduce you to a whole host of characters who help both of us process the underbelly of America through the lens of its ruins. Together, you and I will take audio adventures to locations across the country, as well as international destinations in Finland and Mexico. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you hit that subscribe button now, turn on your notifications, and stay up to speed with each and every episode release. That's the 4-time Signal Award winner Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, Season 3, coming to a podcast app near you on January 2nd, 2025. And don't forget, it's best that you listen with headphones on, imagination on, and everything else turned off.
Isn't that such a great trailer? So the first episode of season 3 is going to be released on Thursday, January 2nd, and then Blake will be releasing his episodes every other week. And I will most definitely be listening to this upcoming season of Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, and I really look forward to hearing your thoughts on it as well as you listen. Wishing you all the warm beverages, hot cider, hot chocolate, spiced holiday tea, peppermint stick mochas, just all of them. Wishing you all the warm beverages. I will check in with you soon. And in the meantime, my dear, beautiful friend, be blessed, be light, and be the magic.